So I have a few questions to ask you today. These are curious questions that I ask of myself from time to time, and I ask my clients through the ETHOS Coaching process that I take each one of my clients through. So this is a really quick way of really identifying values in our life and how to really close the gap between where we are and where we want to be. So the first question that I have for you, and you can write these down on a piece of paper, I'll pause for you to answer these, is do I have permission to coach you today? So that's the first question. I'm waiting for an answer. Do I have permission? Okay, awesome, great. Okay, so since you're watching the video, I'll assume that I've got the permission. The second question that I have to ask you today is, what's something that you value or something that's really important to you right now in this season of your life? Because you know, at different seasons of our life and different transitions and shifts that are taking place, we have different values. So what's a value that's really important to you today? Go ahead and write that down on that piece of paper. Give you a moment to write that down. As you're writing that value down, the question I have for you around that value is, why is that so important to you? What do you get out of that? What is the feeling that you get when you think about that value increasing in your life? Because here's the question that I have for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you honoring that value, or what's most important to you right now? Something that you really care about. How are you honoring that with your life on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being, I'm just rocking it out. 1 being, you know what, I've got a lot of work to do. Go ahead and write that number down on a piece of paper. All right, you got the number? All right, perfect. Okay, the next question I have for you after you write that number down is, what would life look like? Just imagine what life would look like if you were to increase that number just a couple points. Nothing dramatic, just something that's a shift in your life. What would your life look like? What kind of feeling do you get when you think about that value in your life, or what's important to you increasing in your life? Go ahead and write that down. What would life look like if you were to increase that value in your life? Well, since you've got that written down, I've got a really curious question for you, and that's this. What's one decision you can make today to actually move that number up those 2 points? What's one decision you can make today? One commitment you can make, just one, not a whole life change, just one commitment you can make today to begin to add those 2 points into your life and begin to honor that in a greater way. Go ahead and write that answer down. Here's the last question. What are you going to do about it? What's the thing that you're going to do? Not just an action that you say, well, I could do this, but what's something that you really are going to do? Go ahead and write that down. Write your commitment down right now. Like one thing that you're going to do to honor that and to increase that value in your life. It's awesome. Well, I would encourage you to share in the comments below, or share in a private message to me. I'd love to hear when people are closing the gap from where they are to where they want to be. Thank you so much for allowing me to take a few minutes with you today and coach you in the way that we would through ETHOS Coaching.